Did she think I'd never notice, her laughing, toasting him, while our life crumbled in silence? Welcome to Cheating Stories Diary, where the truth cuts deeper than the lies. I should have been sipping coffee at home, waiting for her to walk through the door. That's what Elena thought me, sprawled on our leather couch in our Denver loft, clueless as ever. It was October 12th, 2023, her 35th birthday, a day I'd planned to make unforgettable. I'd booked a cabin in the Rockies, her favorite escape, picturing her hazel eyes lighting up when I handed her the keys. Instead, I stood 40 miles away, tucked in the dim corner of La Vigna, a sleek Boulder wine bar, watching her clink glasses with someone else. Her name's Elena Carter, a 35-year-old graphic designer who just snagged a promotion at Vantage Creative. I'm James Carter, 37, a freelance photographer who'd spent a decade framing her in my lens. She told me it was a team celebration, late drinks, no big deal. I kissed her forehead, let her go. But suspicion had been clawing at me for months, a quiet rustle I couldn't ignore. So there I was, hidden behind a velvet curtain, my camera bag slung over my shoulder like a shield. She laughed, a bright, unguarded sound that used to be mine. Her auburn hair caught the chandelier's glow as she tipped her head back, the way she did when we'd dance in our kitchen. Across from her sat Nathan Pierce, her creative director, all sharp jawline and tailored suit. His hand brushed her arm, lingering as he leaned in, whispering something that widened her smile. She didn't flinch, didn't glance around. She thought I was still the trusting husband, the one who'd never dig too deep, never question her late nights. The air thickened, my chest tightening as her glass met his in a toast. To her promotion. To him? I didn't know yet, but the gap between my hopes, her birthday surprise, and this moment hit me like a fist. Love doesn't fade. It gets stolen. And I was watching the thief take it. It didn't start that night. Betrayal's a slow bleed, a drip you don't see until it stains everything. Back in May, I'd found a receipt in her coat pocket. $1.20 at La Vigna, 2 entrees, a bottle of Pinot Noir. She'd said it was a team meeting, but I'd never known her company to splurge like that. My hands shook as I smoothed the paper, ink smudging under my thumb. I stuffed it back, stayed quiet. Doubt whispered, "You're imagining things." Then June rolled in, and her phone started glowing late at night. I'd catch her in the kitchen, hunched over it, her face soft in the blue light, smiling small secret. She'd flip it face down when my shadow crossed the doorway. "Work stuff," she'd mutter, brushing past me, her jasmine perfume trailing like a ghost. One night, I reached for it to check the time and she snatched it away, eyes sharp. "It's locked now," she said, too casual. 10 years, no password. Now this, my stomach twisted, cold and tight. I remembered our 5th anniversary, 2018, driving to that cabin, snow dusting the pines. She'd sketched me by the fire, her pencil tracing my jaw as she whispered, "You're my forever." That memory stung now, a cruel echo. By August, the signs stacked up, new silk blouses in her closet, heels clicking out the door instead of her worn Converse, a bottle of jasmine perfume on her vanity I hadn't bought. I'd stare at it, the glass catching the light like a taunt. Was it for me? For someone else? I started digging. Late August, I synced her tablet to mine, old tech we'd shared for years. She'd forgotten I had access. The texts loaded one night while she slept, her breathing soft beside me. "Can't wait to see you tomorrow." From NP, Nathan Pierce. "You looked stunning tonight," he'd written after a team dinner. Her reply, "Your trouble. Good thing I like it." My hands trembled, the screen blurring as my pulse hammered. I scrolled. Weeks of flirty exchanges, plans to meet, a photo of her in a black dress I'd never seen. Truth sank in heavy and sharp. She wasn't mine anymore. The air in our loft felt thick that night, shadows stretching across the hardwood. I sat on the couch, silence roaring, her sketchpad abandoned on the coffee table. My fingers traced its edges, recalling how she'd draw me. Now it was him. Disbelief burned into chaos. How long? How deep? I wanted to shake her awake, demand answers. Instead, I shut the tablet, my chest tight, and planned. That's why I followed her to La Vigna on her birthday. I texted my buddy Ryan, a sound engineer who'd seen me through worse. I need a witness, I'd said. He didn't argue. We sat in silence, watching her lean into Nathan, her fingers grazing his when she reached for her wine. Then, under the table, her hand settled on his knee. A quiet, intimate claim. My breath caught, the room tilting. No more doubt, just certainty, cold and final. My hands gripped the table, knuckles white, shaking like they'd snap. Ryan's voice cut through. James, breathe. Couldn't. The air tasted sour, the clink of her glass against Nathan's echoing in my skull. She laughed again, bright, effortless. A sound I hadn't heard in months. Sliced me open, raw and bleeding. Anger flared, a wildfire in my veins. How dare she, after everything? Our late-night talks, the way I'd held her when her mom's cancer won, framing her tears in black and white, a photo still on our wall. Heartbreak sank in, slow and crushing. My chest caved, a tight ache spreading. I trusted her, built my world around her sketches. Her voice, her warmth. Self-blame crept in, insidious. Had I worked too much, chasing gigs? Missed her drifting? The room spun, voices fading to a dull hum. I pictured her sketching him now, her pencil tracing his jaw. Tears stung, hot and silent, sliding down my cheeks as I hid behind that curtain. I wiped them fast. Ryan didn't need to see. I saw us last Christmas, her humming Silent Night by our tree, fingers threading through mine. You're my home, she'd said, eyes soft. That home was ash now. Grief hit. A hollow, bone-deep ache for the life I'd lost. Kids we'd talked about, a bigger place, growing old. Isolation wrapped around me, cold and tight. Ryan was there, but I was alone, a shadow in my own story. I wanted to smash her glass, his smug face, the lie we'd lived. Instead, I sat, trembling, the weight pinning me down. I couldn't take it anymore. My chair scraped the floor, a harsh, jagged sound that silenced the room. Heads turned, forks paused midair. Elena's laugh choked off, her glass frozen as she saw me. Nathan's hand slid off her arm, his posture stiffening. I stood, shadow long across their table, my voice steady despite the storm inside. Congratulations, Elena. Must be a relief, thinking I'd never figure it out. Her face drained white, eyes wide with panic. James, what are you doing here? Her words quivered, barely audible. I stepped closer, calm, too calm. Watching, piecing it together. All those nights you came home late, smelling like his cologne. I nodded at Nathan, who looked away, jaw tight. It's not what it looks like, she stammered, hands trembling. A bitter laugh tore from me. That's your line? You're toasting him, touching him, and I'm supposed to believe it's nothing. Silence stretched, heavy as lead. Nathan shifted, muttering, Look, I don't. I silenced him with a glare. Elena's fingers dug into the table, tears welling. Please, James, she whispered. Not here. No, here's exactly right. I gestured around, voice cold. You wanted a party. Let's toast. To your promotion, your lies, the marriage you torched. Ryan's hand rested on my shoulder, a quiet anchor. Elena's tears fell, but I felt empty. You think I didn't see the texts? The photo in that dress? The way you glow for him? I leaned in, voice low. You're not sorry. You're scared. She broke, sobbing. I messed up. I love you. We can fix this. Love. I spat. Love doesn't text him your trouble. While I'm asleep next to you. I turned and walked out, her cries trailing me. James, wait, please. The door swung shut, muffling her. Outside, the October wind stung my face, streetlights blurring as I exhaled. Ryan followed, silent. In the car, my mind shifted, pain gave way to purpose. I'd known for weeks, collected proof like a hunter laying traps. Those texts, that photo, receipts, all saved in a locked folder. A hidden camera I'd tested in the loft for a gig caught her late-night calls. Her voice soft, saying his name. I'd saved the footage, time-stamped. Part of me had wanted to scream then, to beg her back. But the part that one craved justice, cold and deliberate. Next morning, I called Tara, my lawyer. File it, I said. Divorce, no contest. She didn't ask why, just worked. I froze our joint account. Her new salary wouldn't hit for weeks. Let her scramble. Her HR got an email, anonymous with that La Vigna photo, her hand on his knee. Fraternization's a firing offense advantage. I didn't care if she lost the job. Just wanted her to feel the fall. The big move was the cabin. I'd booked it for her birthday, a surprise for us. Now it'd be her reckoning. I invited her family, her sister Claire, her dad Tom, saying it was a celebration. October 14th, they'd arrive. I'd be gone, divorce papers on the table, a note. Ask her about Nathan. Public, quiet, devastating. Her lies would unravel where she couldn't hide. Self-doubt gnawed at me that week. Am I overreacting? I saw our honeymoon, 2015, her sketching me on a beach, whispering, "Forever's not long enough." I'd loved her. Still did, in some broken way. If we'd had kids, would I forgive? A daughter with her eyes, a son with her laugh. Could I stay for them? No kids, though. Just us, and she'd chosen him. Revenge battled love, but love lost. The jasmine perfume bottle sat on my dresser, half empty. I smashed it that night, glass shattering, scent flooding the room. A goodbye. 6 months later, April 2024, the divorce is nearly done. She fought it at first, begged for counseling, swore she'd change. I didn't budge. There was nothing left to save. Vantage let her go, Nathan too, after the photo surfaced. He's on to someone new, predictably. She's alone now, sketching in a rented studio, her laughter a memory. Her family got the story at the cabin. Claire called me, voice tight. She's a mess, James. She knows she lost everything. I didn't gloat. I just hung up. The papers sit signed, a period on a decade. Me? I'm okay. It took time. Nights staring at old photos, her jasmine scent clinging to a scarf I couldn't toss. But I sold the loft, moved to a cabin near Estes Park. The quiet suits me. My camera's back in my hands, capturing peaks instead of her smile. There's freedom in walking away from a lie, in choosing yourself when they didn't. The truth found me that night at La Vigna. Stood up in a crowded room and demanded I see it. I did, and I left. I see our first date sometimes. Her sketching me at a cafe, shy and unguarded. That Elena's gone. The scarf sits in a box, a relic of a life that wasn't real. I don't need it anymore. Silence has a way of speaking louder than rage. It whispered her secrets, then roared when I stood. And when it settled, I was free. Have you ever been left behind by someone you trusted with your life? Share your story below, because stories like these deserve to be told. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. The next story, you won't see it coming.